Hey yo, what is up everybody? This is Jumpin here, and today I'm going to be bringing you a Mass Effect 3 Platinum gameplay using the N7 Paladin, which I'm sure a lot of you guys are happy to see another gameplay with, because I did, according to everybody, I didn't use him effectively in the first gameplay. I didn't like the shield. Now, I will say in this gameplay I will be using the shield a lot more and a lot more effective as well. Now, the thing is, though, is that I'm still not a giant fan of using the shield to block out damage. I'm the type of player that I just think that by dodging and moving around a lot, that's more effective to not getting hit or shot than being stationary and allowing enemies to hit you, even if you don't take that much damage or you take no damage or whatever. I can still take a great amount of less damage if I go ahead and I just move around a lot. So that's my biggest beef with the defensive part of the shield. But oh man, I love the offensive part. I said in my last video, which I guess you guys didn't even really get to hear me, it was like later in the commentary, is that I do really like the light melee. I didn't use the light melee in the video though, like ever. I just didn't really get in too close enough to really use it effectively. In this gameplay, I decided I'm going to strap on a Piranha shotgun, which is of course a very close range weapon, so I can use this shield as a weapon and show you how amazing it can be. Now right away, the first thing you might notice in this gameplay is that, yeah, my buddy War Dog Phoenix got stomped out. He got executed. And that's insane. Okay, this is what they actually, if you guys don't know this yet, there has been an update for the game, the multiplayer, as of right now. This week right now is pretty much the first whole week after the DLC, so just for anyone in the future watching this, so you know that this is literally 1 week after this DLC came out with the Paladin and all these new N7 humans and stuff. But yeah, like that's one thing they added in, is that on Platinum and Gold you can be executed by normal enemies. And right here I'm gonna get dropped, getting shot in the back. It happens. Platinum, you will die. Like, it's really hard to stay alive, especially when a boss is shooting you. But anyway, yeah, like that's one thing they added in, is that normal enemies can't stomp you out now. On Gold and Platinum, apparently they used to not do that. Only on Silver and Bronze they would stomp you out. So that actually sucks, because apparently, like, according to my friends, I have yet to be like executed or stomped. But according to my friends, like, it's like you go down by an assault trooper and he will instantly stomp you. I mean, it's ridiculous how fast he stomps you. And yeah, like right there, that War Dog wasn't even like expecting to at all be stomped out or executed, but yet he was, like, instantly. So that is something to remember, guys. Now, you're gonna have to play Platinum and Gold like Bronze and Silver. If you go down and a guy's standing over you, you might want to get up. So just try to remember that. All right. So let me go ahead. I will get into all the stuff about the update in a second here. But let me go ahead and give you some thoughts on the Paladin and how my view has changed a lot about him. Obviously, if you have not seen the other video and you don't know the build to this, I will link the build in the description and also in the annotation. So keep that in mind. If you want the build, go on there. There's only two things you got to realize. The first thing is that in the video I talk about because I wasn't level 20 in that video. I was only level 19. And I said that when I got level 20, I would probably go for Incinerate. But when I did actually get level 20, which I'm level 20 in this gameplay, when I actually finally did get level 20, instead I went for the Cryo Shield, which turns your shield into like an ice shield for melee. It is amazing. It is amazing. You might have been noticing me meleeing bosses and armored units because it stacks with Snap Freeze. That is amazing. That is something also I talked about in the video, is that if he would have had Warp, he would have been like the greatest debuffing, boss killing person in the game. But guess what, guys? He actually is, because of that Cryo Shield. Because it stacks, if you melee a armored unit, especially a boss, like right here, if I Snap Freeze him and melee him, then I can weaken his armor 100%. 100%. That is crazy. I mean, you will drop bosses on Gold like in a half of a second. On Platinum, it still takes a lot, but that's just because it's Platinum. And you really will only notice it against, like, well, I mean, you will kill enemies a lot faster. You'll kill the bosses faster, but on, like, Gold, I mean, it's like 1 second. Like, once they're down to their armor and you're shooting with a gun like the Piranha, by yourself you can kill an Atlas in like 1 second. So it's really cool, really amazing. The cryo shield is really good, and his light melee is really good, guys. It's amazing. It's one of the best. It's probably the best light melee in the game, I think, to be honest. Just because it has a massive amount of radius to the melee. You can hit like 2 or 3 enemies with it. Any enemy you hit, you knock down, besides like bosses and big enemies. But any smaller enemy, you'll just knock to the ground, and once they're on the ground, you can snap freeze them to kill them or shoot them. It works really well against bosses because of the cryo shield. It works really well against phantoms, just because once their barriers gone, you melee them, they're on the ground. And I think everybody knows that if you can knock a phantom down, that just takes away the threat of a phantom 100%. And that's exactly what he can do. So overall, close range, he is extremely good if you combine a good shotgun with a melee. One other thing about this build, if you're going to use I would probably always use this gun. I really like this Piranha on him. And because of that, one thing I will change this build, and I think that if I change the build, I'm going to go for weapons damage over damage and capacity. Just because. I just think that's going to be more effective for just more. Because with the powers he has, to me, he's more about a weapon wielder than a power user. I mean, his powers are godly, his powers are great, but they're more for setting up tech burst with energy drain / getting your shield back. Now right there I blocked out some of the damage, but then yeah, the turret still got me. But I still don't like the defensive aspect of the shield, but I'll get into that as this video goes on. But anyway, like I was saying though, like his melee is awesome and his powers are necessary, but I just think that they're more about either energy drain to get your shield back, or setting up tech burst, snap freezing to debuff bosses and to just hit all the enemies in front of you and freeze some enemies or whatever. I just think that his powers are more about that than actually like just being like the only thing he does. Like you really should focus on shooting a lot, close range, meleeing to knock enemy down, and then using his powers to stun and freeze and set up tech bursts and such. So that's the way I feel about him, honestly. Now, alright, now the next thing I will talk about is the defensive shield aspect of him. I'm still not a big fan of it because it can block out damage. I mean, and that's the thing, I still probably would not go for the shield mastery where you can block out the 5,000 damage. The reason why is because when I was checking it on gold, actually, it was just on gold, and I was trying to see if I block out like a brute, like if a brute's gonna charge me, if I block the damage, can I block his first hit and still, like, you know, be standing, still like be able to block out more damage? And no matter what you do, you can't do that, because a brute can hit you twice if you don't know, because what will happen is that he'll have an initial hit, and then sometimes his shoulder will hit you, and that's why when you get hit by a brute, sometimes you lose all your shield and all your health, and you're like so close to death, and then you instantly die if anything shoots you. Now what's good about this guy is that because of his shield, if you do block out the damage, and you know, you can block out that first hit totally, you take no damage from the first hit, but if you are hit by the second hit, you're still going to lose all your shield. The good thing is that no, you won't lose you won't actually lose all your health. Now right there, I used my first rocket of the game, and you might have noticed that I just pulled it out and shot it. That is because they have fixed the rocket glitch. Thank God. Thank God they have fixed that. But that's also poses somewhat of a problem, because now when you pull out your rockets and you shoot them, they literally shoot instantly. There is no charge up, and it's a good thing, honestly. I like it, but that's the thing though, is that even though it is good, it's also like going to take some time to get used to for most players, including myself. So try to keep that in mind. Like, you're just going to have to get used to it. You can't just, you got to get out the mentality that you have to charge it up. That's the main thing. Alright, so, alright, let me go ahead and tell you a little bit more. Alright, but so overall though, the shield mastery, I think that at times it is good at range or something like, or such, and like, this is what I'm talking about with phantoms. Like, I believe I'm going to melee her. Yeah, once she's down to her health, I can go ahead and run up and melee her, and yeah, that will be about it. It's over for her. It's just that simple. But anyway, like I was saying, so the shield mastery, I just think overall it's just, I don't like it that much. But that's just me. I mean, if you think that if you had really good timing and you could use it very effectively, yeah, go for it. Like, it probably would be pretty good. But for me, I like to dodge, I like to move, and because of that, I like the shield recharge. And I love his light melee, and I will try to use the shield as best as possible to block out certain damage and such. But I don't know. Every time I use it, I just lose all my shields. And I know that everyone's like, well, it's supposed to block out all the damage. I just lose all my shields. I don't understand why it happens to me. Maybe the radius of the attacks are hitting me. I don't really know, but overall, like, it's kind of annoying. So that's one of the things about the shield. Alright, so now let me go ahead and talk about this update, because, like I said, I really do like the Paladin. I liked him in the first video. I said I really like this guy. I like him more now, to be honest, just because of the snap freeze with the combination of the melee. I love that aspect, and I just love his melee so much. But like I said, the only thing is I'm just not a fan of the blocking out of damage. That's just me. I'm just not a big fan of that, but like watch that. This should be a good one. Yeah, like, look at that. She's dead, and once she's on the ground, boom, you snap freeze her and it's over. She's dead. That is amazing. That is an amazing aspect of him. And yes, I do think now that he's probably going to become, in my opinion, the best Sentinel in the game, just because of just his boss killing aspect and his good melee, and he's cool. He has energy drain. That's amazing power, so why not? Alright, so anyway, let me go ahead and tell you a little bit more. Alright, so the update. Yes, there's been an update, and in this update, they have fixed the rocket glitch. For anyone in the future who might be watching this, just remember, the update that they fixed the rocket glitch is the one I'm talking about. Alright, so, thank Jesus that they fixed that rocket glitch. I'm so glad, because I am so sick of hearing about that rocket glitch. Like, I've never been in a game. I take that back. I've been in 1 or 2 games where people have done it, and in those games, it's just like, really, like really, like, what is, like, this is ridiculous. So I'm glad they fixed it. I really am. And I think they fixed it in a very intelligent way, because just the fact they made it so the rockets shoot faster really does totally fix it. Like, this just fixes it. Hopefully someone won't be able to figure out a new way to do it, but it does fix it, and that is good. I didn't think they were going to be able to fix that, just like they haven't been able to fix so many other problems. I was like really worried that, yeah, they just wouldn't be able to fix it. That was kind of a fail right there. Well, not really. He's pretty much all but dead. Like I said, so I don't know. Overall, I'm glad they did it. That's for sure. I know a lot of you guys who play with randoms, or you go into random platinum games, you can't get a legit game. And I hope that everyone on my YouTube channel, everyone who's watching these videos, are watching them for entertainment, of course, but also because you guys want to learn something from me, to be better at Mass Effect, to learn some secrets of Platinum, to learn some good tips, some good builds, some good strategies, and go and play legit. Like, that's the thing. Like I think most people on this YouTube channel probably want to play legit. It's just what it is. So that's the thing. And I'm glad they fixed the rocket glitch, because if you don't have a lot of friends and you've got to play with randoms, then you would just be stuck with rocket glitches. I mean, I never really played with randoms, but I heard so much. Now, this is actually going to be, I think, a pretty awesome moment of the shield. I seen all those swarmers coming, I'm like, fuck that. Like, I knew I was so dead, so I just put out the shield and let the shield, like, eat all the swarmers. I do like that, too, about the shield. The shield is good about that, just eating swarmers and little stupid things like that, like, just to not take that damage. But alright, anyway, so they did fix the rocket glitch. That's the biggest news. That's the one thing, and this is a clusterfuck right here. I'm gonna pull out my missile, and I love that. Like, I really do. I like the new missile, fast shooting, because you can just pull it out and boom, everything's dead around you. There is no, like, oh, pull out my missile, charge it up, ah, I'm stabbed. Like, that was so annoying when that would happen, and it happened all the time. So now, hopefully, that can't happen. Right there, I got dropped, and, like, I don't even know what happened, but I just got annihilated. If you light melee these Ravengers, I do have to admit, light meleeing the Ravagers to get the armor bonus. I don't really think in the future I'm going to be doing that. This is actually my first game actually playing with the Paladin on Platinum, and this is also my first game. And like, look at right there, like, that's what I'm talking about. I just always thought the shield is supposed to block out all damage. I mean, I'm sure you guys are going to leave comments and say, well, right there was something hitting you in the back. But I had my back to the wall, and I was letting him shoot me, and I was just losing my actual shield, and that drives me insane. Just the fact that it should be able to block out, I don't know, whatever amount of damage, and then once that damage is reached, then you actually lose, you actually break the shield, and once the shield is broken, then you can be vulnerable. But you still have shields. You don't actually lose any of your actual shields. So I don't really know, guys. And that, just not knowing how the freak it works, honestly, like, that's the part that probably drives me insane. It's just, I don't know how it works, and every time I use it, I'm taking all this damage, and I'm like, fuck. Like, what the hell? Like, why do I want to even do this? So, I don't know, guys. Like I said, you can tell me. But let me go ahead and keep talking about this update. So, alright, so, besides the rocket glitch fix, which is a good thing, definitely a great thing, they've also nerfed a couple things. The first thing they nerfed was the Typhoon. They actually lowered the default armor piercing ability of it. So the piercing on it was 1 meter. It could pierce through 1 meter of objects. Don't know how much armor it could ignore or whatever. I don't even know if it I don't even know if it got that effect. I really don't know if that's how it works with guns like the Black Widow, if it works like the piercing mod, but who knows. So here's the thing though, is that honestly, that's not a big deal, guys. I wouldn't flip out about that. The Typhoon is such a good gun. And if you're going to play with that, I would probably recommend armor-piercing ammo now, for sure. Just so you can do more damage to armor and penetrate, like, walls and guardians and everything like that, and just ignore armor. And, like, armor-piercing 4 on that gun would be amazing. The downside is that armor-piercing, that's an ammo I don't have much of. And if I don't have a lot of the ammo, I know for a fact that, well, I don't know for a fact, but I would assume a lot of people don't have a lot of armor-piercing ammo. It just seems like a hard ammo to get to me. Like, everything else seems like it's so easy, but armor-piercing seems like it's hard to get. And it's definitely, like, one of the most useful ammos, so it can be a little annoying. And that's something that sucks now about the Typhoon. It used to be that you probably didn't even need armor-piercing at all on that gun if it ignored 1 meter of armor. Like, that's insane. But anyway, so that's the only thing that happened to the Typhoon, though. Nothing else, just the armor piercing. Now, the gun that got hit hard, though, is the Chrysalis. And I was so pissed yesterday because I had that gameplay of the Destroyer. I had it actually uploaded, too. And then I was just going to wait to upload it today. Like, my plan was to upload that Destroyer gameplay today and then upload this tomorrow. But like I said, like, once the update came out, I'm like, oh my god, I gotta hurry up and put this out now, so that it's not like, you know, because when it came out, it's not even that good of a video anymore, because I wouldn't recommend the Chrysalis anymore. Like, they have nerfed the shit out of that gun, so I can't even recommend the gun anymore. And if I would have came out with it after, like, you know, the update would have been out for like a whole day or something, and everybody would have known, and everybody would have been like, oh, this is stupid, the gun's nerfed, what's the point? And then, you know, I made the video, so I'm just like, well, shit, I want it out. So, like I said, it's a shame they nerfed it. The only thing I will say is that it is definitely an overpowered gun. If it wasn't for that video and me kind of liking it on the Destroyer, I probably would have said, yeah, it's okay, I don't give a fuck, I hate that gun. But then again, there's Platinum now. Like, we have Platinum difficulty, BioWare. We have this harder difficulty. Why not give us, like, why nerf the guns like the Chrysalis? Like, I don't understand that. Like, that's a good Platinum gun, honestly. That is definitely a good Platinum gun. And, of course, it's a godly gold gun, and it's probably the most overpowered gun in the world on silver and bronze. But definitely, like I said, it's just, it's crazy to me that they nerf that or whatever. Now this wave I do want to say something. This wave is actually going to be a little bit of like crazy. Now, unfortunately, you're only going to get to see so much of this wave. I'm going to cut this video ahead because my caption card, my recording software I use, crashed during this wave, and I didn't even realize it crashed until way later. But luckily, I didn't actually skip too much of the gameplay. It's just going to be like, maybe you're going to see 1/3 of this wave. But we're going to definitely, we had a lot of problems this wave. Let's put it that way. In this wave, both Obsidian and my buddy War Dog Phoenix, they get grabbed by Banshees. And it's just me and Drew clutching it out. But we were able to go ahead and get the clutch, luckily. But it actually was a long wave. I'm kind of glad it got cut out because it was a long wave. It was like 7 minutes long. It was just a really long wave because two-manning platinum is very hard. It's not easy whatsoever, especially with all these bosses and banshees on you. So this is about the part that I believe it's going to cut out. It's just going to cut to the end of the wave, and it's going to cut to the beginning of wave 9 pretty much. But like I said, you're not really missing anything. If anything, it's kind of a good thing because this gameplay would have been a lot longer if it would have been there. So I don't know. But alright, so anyway guys, and that's a good technique too. The shield does work extremely effective. Well, it is extremely effective against pyros. It really is. I do have to admit that. Like, I really like it against pyros, especially when they have like that billion-mile range. That's the part it's cut, so you will pretty much see that it's going to be wave 9 now. Unfortunately, like I said, it happened, but it does happen, and luckily I didn't accidentally like skip out wave 10 or something. That would have been insanity. Alright, so let me keep talking about the update though. Alright, so what they did with the Chrysalis is that they what they have done is that they've actually lowered the DPS on it like crazy. I don't know if they lowered the damage. I think they lowered the damage. I didn't actually get to see all the stats, but I'm pretty sure that the damage got lowered, and I think the rate of fire got lowered. So because of that, greatly affects DPS on a gun. Lower rate of fire and lower damage, like that's what DPS really is. So that's the thing. Like, it has like lower DPS than a Mantis apparently now, and that's a shame. So I mean, it's gonna go into the junk bin, honestly. Like, it's gonna be just a junk gun. Like, that's just what it is. Like, I don't really know. Maybe on the Destroyer it might work, and these are gonna be a couple of nice grabs. But it could work maybe on the Destroyer, but I don't really know. And besides that, I believe that's about it. Those are the main things: Rocket Glitch, Chrysalis, Typhoon, and and the other thing is that enemies on gold and platinum can stomp you out now. I think the update is cool. I don't know, actually I take that back. I hate this weekly update because I just don't like the fact they nerfed the Chrysalis. Never used the gun for real, but I don't like the idea of nerfing things now that platinum's out. Not only that, I don't like the fact that enemies can stomp you out on gold. I mean, it's one thing. I mean, on these new on gold or platinum, you have to deal with constant enemies trying to stab you and pick you up and grab you. And if you guys can't tell, I am fighting a stupid and retarded amount of rocket troopers right now, and this is gonna go on. If you guys want, I really want to know this information. Please count how many rocket troopers I kill during this wave, because I don't really know, and I know that they just kept spawning. I mean, look at this. This is ridiculous. How many rocket troopers I'm fighting? It was insanity. But anyway, like I said, overall though, the update, I'm not really too happy with it, just because they nerfed some stuff I didn't think they needed to be nerfed. Assault troopers can now stomp you out. So, but the one thing I am extremely happy about is the rocket glitch. I mean, of course, the rocket glitch, that's the one thing that makes up for all the rest. If it would have just been some nerfs and some like stupid things like that, yeah, I would have hated it. And right here, I believe I'm gonna get dropped. Yeah, I don't even know how he died. I mean, that's insanity. How I just like dead, like just dropped to the ground. But yeah, I'm still fighting a ton, and I mean a ton of rocket troopers. This is insane. The reason why I'm alone, I know that in this whole video we've been staying together, and I always promote teamwork. The reason why I'm on this side of the map alone is because on the other side of the map, they're fighting some bosses, and I was having a lot of success for a long time killing these rocket troopers. So just to try to get this wave over with quicker, that's really what I'm doing. I'm trying to kill as many rocket troopers as possible, and by doing that, hopefully this wave won't be so bad. But I mean, I was gonna work my way over to my teammates, but in the process, it was just like, what the hell? What's up with all these rocket troopers? There's freaking a billion of them. All right. So one thing, guys, I do want to say is that like I said, the light melee is amazing. It is really amazing, honestly. But the other thing too is that, you know, of course it's a little risky light melee banshees. I do recommend to maybe try to do it though. Every banshee that comes up on us, I will light melee. And that's a really good technique what I just did there. That's exactly what you should normally do to things like Atlases or Primes, boss levels, is that you snap freeze them from a certain range. And if you guys don't know, I have range on my snap freeze, and I love range. And I would probably never switch that, because even though this guy is close range and you could play him extremely close range, with range on the snap freeze, it's 15 meters. So if I'm like trying to stay back a little bit, 15 meters is huge. I can just shoot it in a straight line, and even if it appears that it doesn't hit them, because it does kind of not. Sometimes it looks like it doesn't hit the enemies. Even if it looks like that, the honest to God truth is that no, you do hit them. And I'm really hoping that everyone's gonna have a big old boner and be really happy, because yes, I am getting these objectives. And I do this. Like, I do this in casual games. I always go for the objectives. I've always felt that in videos that it will just slow down action or something. But I'm willing to do it anytime. Like, it's whatever. I try to me, what only that matters is the win, not the money, just the win. I want the win, so I'll do whatever it takes to win. But yeah, it's just for video's sake. But for this video, I actually did it. I think I'm going to start doing it for the videos, because I get so many negative comments about it that why not just do them for the videos? After I thought that people wouldn't want to see it, then I guess people do. So, I don't know. Anyway, like I said, so this is devices, and we're just trying to get it done. No milking for platinum. Fuck that. I had this guy, a clan member, ask me when I was playing platinum with him. He asked me, "You want to milk this?" I was like, "Fuck no!" Like that was my reaction. Was fuck no. Like, are you serious? Like why would you ask that? But I mean, it was funny. But I mean, I don't know. Like, this is what it was. Like, no milking platinum. That would be ridiculous. Like, and there's really no point, because like experience-wise, and right here I'm gonna get grabbed. But luckily, War Dog's gonna save my ass, man. He saved my ass so hard. But like I said, that's just the thing. It's there experience-wise. Honestly, guys, if you want experience, like, just go for gold. Gold, I get more experience. I can get 500,000 consistently on gold if we milk a little bit. Like 500,000 every game at least. On platinum, I get about 380,000, 420,000. I don't know, because honestly, like, one thing, guys, it's a lot better to pick the map, and it's a lot better to pick Geth to start against. I've had some comments about why the main faction Geth. It is better to fight against Geth in the beginning. The reason why is because you don't have any risk of like wave 1 or 2 getting like assassinated. That's nice. And not only that, you don't see banshees. Cerberus is the second faction. You see phantoms wave. You only see phantoms wave 4. Well, you don't only, but you start seeing phantoms wave 4, just like if you were fighting Cerberus Gold, and you start to see banshees wave 7. And that's nice. That's really nice. Wave 7 banshees. That means that it's a lot easier to at least get the wave 6 money. So try to keep that in mind. If you're going to play platinum, just go ahead and do, like I said, start against Geth and just pick the map. Pick a map that you feel comfortable playing. I've been trying to do a lot of different maps, but I really love Reactor. This is one of my favorite maps in the game. Everybody hates this map. I think this is the #1 map, in my opinion, for teamwork, because this is a map that is so easy to stay together. It's so easy to stay with your teammates and work together on a map like this. Alright, anyway, like, as you can tell, this is pretty much winding down. Overall, though, I really do like the Paladin. I think that the shield melee is amazing. I think using it like as a weapon is a great idea. He's definitely like the best debuffing boss person in the game, because he can because Snap Freeze and the Cryo Shield stacks for 100% weaken armor. That's insane. I'm still not a big fan of his blocking out damage, just because for some reason it just does not work for me. I can't figure it out. And it's kind of hard doing the timing, and I prefer to stay mobile and move. Thank God the rocket glitch has been fixed. But everything else in the update I think is stupid because there's no point to do that. And yeah, that's going to be pretty much it. That was pretty much every point that I made in the video right there. But I really hope you guys enjoyed this, and I really hope that this has made some of you guys happy that were, because I know a lot of people were disappointed with my Paladin video, my first one. And of course, if you want the build, it is in the description. And yeah, so that's going to be pretty much it, guys. Please subscribe to me for all the new DLC content and Platinum gameplays, and have a nice day.